Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I am Fox, and today I wanted to show you a cheese that a couple of friends of mine have discovered with Legendary Summit that enables you to still obtain all of the legendary loot that you used to, which since the changes to directives and the ability to choose your own loot is by far the best loot farm in the game at the moment, but you won't need to deal with White Tusk. What this cheese essentially does is removes White Tusk from all legendary floors and replaces them with every other faction in the game. The advantage of this, of course, being that White Tusk are specifically programmed to be more difficult and as a result have higher health, higher damage, more abilities. I'm thinking of the Stinger Hive Heavies that just seem to wipe everyone all the time if you're not prepared for them, and more aggression. Now, I do believe that the aggression was tuned back with the legendary enemies. It certainly feels like it was from when they stated that a while ago. But the point is that you can use this small cheese and clear through legendary floors whilst getting all of your top tier loot, because of course legendary is very well rolled, whilst not dealing with the more difficult or the most difficult faction in the game. You will still see Black Tusk, you will see New York factions, you will see the generic faction, and you will see DC factions as well. This means you can clear every floor with ease. These guys have way less health, they're easier to deal with, and it just makes it an absolute breeze to clear through. I do want to credit this discovery to one of my Xbox friends, ImNotASmurf, and his partner Kimmy. They discovered this at the right at the start of TU 11.1, and they've sort of kept it quiet to themselves. But he's since said that he's happy for me to credit him, and well, not credit him, sorry. I offered to credit him, but he's happy for me to essentially get this out to you guys. He did search on Reddit and YouTube first to make sure this wasn't out there, and it appears that it is not. But if any of you do discover a content creator or Redditor that has posted this first, could you please let me know, because of course I will apply credit where it is due. But from what I have seen and from what ImNotASmurf has seen, it does appear that he has discovered this first. There is a caveat to this. All I will say is use it at your own risk. This absolutely does not break their terms in the sense that you'll get banned, similar to the damage exploit in TU8. That was obviously way out of control. This is very much akin to the Warhound XP cheese that was available in TU9, which is where you could just go to Tidal Basin to that Warhound convoy right there, and the enemies used to spawn out of the same two sewer grates, so you could just kill them over and over with all your directives and get a ton of XP. All they did there was they categorically said that nobody would be receiving bans or anything like that. They were just going to change the spawns, which they did, and everybody got on with their lives. This is absolutely in the same category as that. There is a high chance that they will change this, but if you do want to use this in the meantime, I don't feel that it's fair to keep this to just myself and a few of my friends. I want everybody to take advantage, because it's actually kind of cool going through Legendary Summit, getting all of your legendary loot, filling out your library, I forgot the word, what it was called then, to get all of your stat rolls higher, getting some better loot, and just having more fun in Summit, because nobody likes coming up against those heavies with the Stinger Hives built into their back. You won't see any of those or anything like that. So with that in mind, let's see exactly how this is achieved. Now, the only real prerequisite for this is you need to be in a group of 3 or less. So you can do this with a couple of friends, or you can even do it by yourself. It doesn't really make a difference. But you cannot be in a group of 4, because what we're essentially doing is matchmaking to kick this cheese into play. Let's see how we do that. As the group leader, you'll need to be the person that sets the directives and difficulty. So of course, as it's only me, I will be myself doing this. What you need to do is, from the start, let's just come straight back out of that. So from the start, you'll press the button, you'll go straight down to change settings. You can select any difficulty you want, doesn't make a difference whatsoever, as long as it is not legendary. So you can go challenging, it really doesn't make a difference. I'll just leave it on normal for argument's sake. Go back and set your directives. You don't have to if you don't want to. Directives are good because they do give you additional chance to get loot, and they do increase the percentage stat rolls of the loot very incrementally, so it's worth having someone that you like with your group. But if you don't want to have any on, you can just turn them off, leave one on, it doesn't really make a difference. Once you've got your directives set up and you've chosen a non-legendary difficulty, you need to confirm your settings, which if you look in the bottom right on Xbox is X. We're just going to press that button there. What it's essentially doing is it's telling us we're changing to normal with all of the directives that we do want on there, even if it was none. What you need to do is apply those changes. Now, if you have 1 or 2 other teammates with you, at this point they need to go into the elevator. So the non-group leaders need to go into the elevator, leaving the group leader outside. This will of course initiate a 30-second countdown in which you'll be teleported into the lobby, but that is more than enough time to do the next stage. So you can see now in the bottom middle of my screen, just next to my radar, which yes, I know it's in a strange place, but trust me, in PvP that is the place you want it. It's so useful. You see it says the summit to the right of that. It has the normal icon, which is a single chevron, and it has the special ammo, which is everything that I've just set up, so that all looks normal. My teammates are now in the lift, these invisible guys are just here, or if it was just me, then I would still just stand here. You then bring up your map. You need to go over to matchmaking, and you're brought up with the traditional screen that we are all used to for matchmaking, but it only lets you do the summit and answer the call. Just because we are out, so we're in an off-world activity, or an off-map activity, I think they call it, off-site. You need to go to the summit, and you want to be selecting Legendary. When you select this, it will start matchmaking you. Now, if you're a solo player, it's going to bring up some invites on the bottom right, as you see there, to join their group. If you already have 2 or 3 people, it may very well put somebody straight in with you. What you can do, however, the moment you've done this, is turn it straight off. Now, it's up to you. You can wait until you get in the elevator, you can wait until you go up to the top floor or wherever you're going. It doesn't really make a difference. But what you now notice is the legendary symbol. So you see the map, the summit, and it now has the triple chevron with a triple star, which indicates a legendary content. We've still got the same directive on. So in this window now, what we'll do is go into the elevator. So you go to the button at the elevator, you select anything that's not legendary and any directives you want and confirm that. Before you step in the elevator, your teammates need to get in there. You need to go to matchmaking, legendary summit, and then cancel that matchmaking straight away. What this means is that we are now on, in my case, floor 34. You can see again next to my radar that it still says legendary. It's the triple star, triple chevron symbol with the same directive that I've already selected. What will now happen is when I go to this next floor, as long as it's not drones or something, you'll see any faction in the game that is not White Tusk. And as a result of this, it will be very easy to clear these rooms. Oh, that's not a shield, that's an EMP jammer. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. So this is not a White Tusk. This guy is most definitely not White Tusk. We are 100% fighting the cleaners right now. We're on legendary, and as a result, the loot is going to be pretty good. There we go, he's dead as well. That is when we actually get a loot drop. Just clear these guys out the room. Hope you get a loot drop so I can show you the quality of said loot. Now, every time you reach an elevator, so that's every 3rd floor, you need to reset this back up. So when you get your new checkpoint, so in this case it will be 37, you need to still go up in the elevator to the next floor, and at that point you need to bring up your map as the team leader, or if you're solo obviously it will just be yourself anyway, and you would hold X to return to lobby, which you can see is in the bottom, just to the left of the bottom middle of my screen there. Of course this is different buttons for PC and PlayStation. What happens is every time you go to an elevator, which is caused by one of 2 things, 1, progressing every 3rd floor, or 2, team wiping, you do need to reset this back up. So if we've cleared all of these floors, we finally come back up to the elevator, ready to go up to floor 38, that will be. You go up to floor 38, but before you push forward, the leader returns to lobby and you do exactly the same thing again. You open the elevator by selecting a non-legendary difficulty and the directives that you want, or just leave it as the same. Your teammates go in the elevator whilst you're still outside. You matchmake for legendary, cancel it straight away, go in the elevator, and you'll go up to your new checkpoint with the same thing applied. If you do not do that, you will then be up against White Tusk again. So just bear that in mind every time you go to an elevator. Ah, not the immune ones. These suck. Yeah, you'll be back against the non-White Tusk faction again. So if you look here, this is Cleaners again. So we're actually up against New York Cleaners in the Legendary Summit right now. No, stop resing. It's immune? Ah, it's immune! No, that's cheating. Hopefully we'll get some loot so I can show you that it is legendary quality loot, but it's being a bit stingy at the moment. Also, I can't see this guy. Oh, but he can see me, that's for sure. Get some loot just there. Okay, so that's that floor cleared. So as you can see, these rolls are very high. I've just got some walker knees that I could make these to crit chance, crit damage, and weapon damage. The turret is very close to max because it's 7.5 just here as well. So some very high quality loot. Now obviously this is only 1 floor and I'm only solo, so the loot is going to be, you know, better and more frequent if you play with a group, and that is how I recommend you do this. If you're ever farming for gear, you should never do it solo because you are very much limiting what you can get. But ultimately some of us do just play solo. I know I used to be a solo player and I always enjoyed that, so this is why I'm showing this solo. But yes, of course it works in a group. And that is literally it. You just clear every floor as you normally would. We've seen cleaners twice in a row. Let's have a look at the loot in here as well. There is no loot in here. Amazing. So there we go. ImNotASmurf has actually just joined my team in the bottom right there. So he was the guy that essentially introduced me to this particular cheese. There we go, hyenas. So as you can see, we're still on legendary. We have hyenas, but we're getting all of the legendary quality loot. So that is essentially it. That's all I wanted to show you all. Let me know what you think in the comments. I do apologise, I've not been getting too many build videos out at the moment. You know, I will be completely honest with you all. I've been having a lot less fun in conflict with the overabundance of status effects and the very poor latency that's in the game at the moment. You know, invisible walls, rubber banding, getting killed once you're already around cover has been quite prolific and kind of taken it away from me a little bit. But if you do want to see any sort of PvE or PvP build videos, then just let me know anything you've got any ideas of and I'll try my best to get that out to you. That is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you all in the next one.